Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Well, there's some beautiful grandma and grandpa trees here at Druid Hill Park. And a great trail. It's sort of the sun hitting my phone anyway, and my picture doesn't look nearly as magnificent as it is out here. But the out here beauty is found and reflected because of the inner work being done. And I had some clarity about a point that I feel like nobody really wants this kind of message when they're in a funky spot, like, just as something went wrong. Or here's a simple example everyone can relate to. You're pushing yourself too much, and then you don't feel well. That's true of anybody, Let's say, actually funny, I just watched Arnold documentary on that guy who's very much about this same mental. It's the mental that he conquered, and that's what he manifests as he's a large guy anyway. That was his energy of his personality before he came here. So he came, of course, as Arnold. It wasn't because his dad developed him, because his dad, who was really militant, crushed one son who drank and committed suicide, basically, or crushed his car. And then Arnold, who took that and said, that's not a mean father, that's the energy I needed to push me. And then later had to come to grips with his mental state because he wanted to go into acting. And he went at that just like he went at weightlifting. But in weightlifting, he shut down all his emotions, and he just fought through, and he pushed and became. And so there's a positive side to pushing through. But when you push too much, then you get too sore and you have to back off a little bit. And everyone who trains or does any kind of sport knows that there's that bump. It's like, I push too much, I'm going to get sick or break something or get injured or whatever. But I want to push just to that point. So that's like as much as the doing version of me can accomplish, which is a lot. And it feels good. And you get accolades from others and blah, blah, blah. But because he was always committed to the mental side, or at least aware of the mental side while he was pushing for the bodybuilder version of himself who had all emotional states closed off, then just because his heroes had gone into acting, he said, I'm going to go into acting. And he knew he could accomplish anything he had. If it came into your mind as an interest, you should do it. That's the way the universe works. That's how you're guided. It's like it comes as interest. So you're always following your excitement. So he was following his excitement was all, and using everything in his past as a narrative to say that sponsored my excitement, and that's why I got here, and I love it. So he actively was appreciating his past, even when he was doing his bodybuilding and cutting off all of his emotional state. He had a mind that said, it's mental, I can see myself becoming great. And of course, he did at a really young age. So the point is, he had to overcome a lot of fears and self-doubts and whatever, And the point is that we all have that journey, like the hero's journey. We all have to break away from something that's holding us back from being all that we want to be, because we're an ever-expansive energy ball being. There's nowhere else to go but expansion. And you're an infinite energy source, and your adventure just keeps multiplying and multiplying. So what a great time to be alive on the planet right now, when I'm going to give you because I want to look at them too. But anyway, the inspiration of these beautiful specimens of planetary energy. So back to this example, you could see where the bodybuilding maybe would represent that push, and it was interesting that he was explaining that his emotional state was shut down to do that, and he recognized it later. And so then now, to be an actor, this is a point I wanted to emphasize, to become an actor, he had to push himself in other ways. And he one early movie he did, they said, oh, the horse had more facial expression than Arnold did. And that's when he kind of really realized, but it wasn't just that event. He was sort of on a quest to I'm going to figure this out. And he just realized, I can't act because I don't have a sense of my emotions. I don't feel. So he disconnected from the energy ball that you are. Really, you can focus more on what's in my ethers. Thoughts just come to me. I trust. I walk and I arrive and I always have what I need. And you own that energetic narrative, and then the world takes care of everything for you, and you're a spiritual master. But you go the other way and you're like, push myself till it hurts too bad that I can't push more. And if I'm really good at it, I can make some changes in this world. But they're going to be materialistic. Arnold's bodybuilding pales in comparison to, and he says this, to his spiritual quest, his mental. I want to understand the mental side. Now, we didn't have the words then to really express this stuff, but now we've integrated new words, and that's why, like, you know, I might be inspired by the Holy Spirit today, but I'm just connecting to my ethers because I'm an energy ball, and my energy ball is in the image and likeness of God. But God is sort of such a twisted word. It's like I can't take my childhood version of God out of my head, so I go with source energy. Source energy is always projecting love. I call it adoration. Adore, 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 adores your process. Source energy adores your process, adores your commitment to the planet, adores your expression of existence, adores your frustrated day, adores your desire to block the adoration and pretend I'm not adored and go through hardship and push myself from hardship into something beautiful, bloom a flower out of a mulch pile, you know? So that is a game we play here on planet Earth. So step one is always, I don't know. I don't know how this all played out. I don't know where exactly I'm going, but I'm going to be committed to just feeling my way through and realize that all my struggles, all of my push that then draws sickness to me because I know I'm pushing too much, is just an indicator to say, easy. You got to adore and appreciate where you are to have the power and the energy and the clarity to accomplish something big. Because expansion is what we want, and expansion of who we are takes letting go of who you thought you were. That's more the important part. So I don't know is a key point. 4 key words. I don't know. Yes. Yes to everything you're experiencing. Yes to the emotional state of that day. Yes to I am connected to source energy. I am adored. I'm showering myself with adoration today. You could say, oh, it's just a beautiful day. The weather's nice, you know. Let me think about what's going to make my day. But what am I going to go do and be? And it's like, no, you're absorbing it in your current moment or you don't have it. Adoration, adored by all celestial beings, all celestial planets, all celestial energy is adoring on us and planet Earth. Not because we're broken, not because we need to be fixed, but because we're down here fussing our way through, bringing matter from the planet up into manifested human. Come on. I don't know how that works. I don't know. But I do know that if I say yes, everything gets easy. As soon as I push against something, it gets difficult and it burns me down. And as soon as I say yes, that's what I wanted. Yes, that's just what I wanted. You can fake it first, but you just lean in that direction of, yes, I'm just going to allow this. However long it takes till you get to that wisdom of allowing and knowing that wherever you are and whatever steps you've taken to get to where you are is all perfect and being adored by all the galactic energy. Call it God, source energy, love, whatever. Feel it, bring it in, find it in any way you can, with any substance you need to do it. Find that sense of I am adored. And from there, you'll bloom up to be something beautiful. There's no question. It's just like gravity works. Gravity, we know how that works. It's so simple to find. Find the next one. Find that adoration. Energy of thriving under the umbrella of adoration from source energy. There's nothing better. But once you get experiential knowledge of that, and you've tapped in a couple times, my work here is done. And you're going to find such a weird way of going about expressing your inner version of your inner experience with your source energy ball. Every cell in your body is energetically, like you could see a little fine thread to your aura, to your energy ball. And you got chakras of energy, and who cares about all that? I don't know. Just yes, I'm in. I'm going to figure this thing out. I'm going to play with it. There's nothing to figure out. I'm going to play with it. So I don't know, yes. The third one is both, and things like that. Because we fuss about, like, is it this, or should we do this to this nature? Should we be doing more? Should we... Both. Yeah, do more and leave it all alone. Both are true. All of it's true. All of it's relevant. We're in a soupy mess of, like, what do we want? And what you truly want, is really limited by what you believe you deserve. So that's why they sort of talk about, love on yourself, adoration, appreciation, gratitude. That's my fourth word, by the way. You just can't naturally go anywhere with this energy, but to that point, you'll feel it eventually. Sometimes it'll be a laugh, sometimes it'll be a cry. But yes leads to such a strong sense of gratitude. And then long-held gratitude, appreciation, adoration leads to how can I help? How can I help you to find this inner cocoon of self-love? Because you've allowed in the adoration of the whole galaxy, God, source energy. You'll let it in when you want it, so I'm really sort of not worried about anybody. Maybe just when you die, maybe shortly after you die. But the more you can own the fact that you're an infinitely adored energy ball now on this planet, easier it is on your transition. And everybody's learning about the transition now. So this whole, near-death experience, which fortunately I had a mystical, my little Yoda, and anyone in my family would be like, oh yes, for sure, she's the female version of Yoda. But she didn't teach me anything, but she let me express my bizarre version of how I saw myself, not in the language I use today, but she gave me and she had a near-death experience, saw herself on the hospital bed, went to the white light, had a life review, came back, saw everything, then remembers them calling her back, and she didn't want to come back, and she went back in. And that's sort of everybody's story. But when you are a mystic and you've spent a little bit of your time spending some time being sensitive, realizing that my emotional energy being is guiding me, always like magnetic pull. It's law of attraction, but it's the point of you can't not be experiencing what you think you are. It just doesn't, nobody's making a choice about that. We came here to experience this sort of chaotic, erratic energy of planet Earth and manifest a human. But the energy ball version of us has no concern for what I'm going to be okay or not. So it's all game, all welcome to be experienced. And so no one's crying for people who are suffering on this planet, but everyone who's suffering on this planet can just, in a snap, change their frequency, and they're either on the other side or happening here. They're in the ball of unrestricted, I am not just worthy, I am source energy manifest. As your energy ball version or your energy balls collection group consciousness of energy, your soul group, whatever you want to call it, there's layers, of course, but bottom line is source energy is everything, and everything is adoring you. And it's so powerful once you tap in. And it's so simple once you realize. Once you tap in and you sit with it for a minute, you realize, oh, and it is that simple, isn't it? Just let go. But man, it's gonna hurt. So good luck. All right, that's long enough. Anyway, beautiful little cinematography for you. But, the tree there that's, let me turn my phone, that's dying, It's like you don't get to see those out in the real world, because people would have cut that thing down. That's a liability. It's going to fall on my house. I love that when it falls across this trail, now we're going to leave them uncut. and the head of the tree, that one doesn't have a head because it's dying up there, but that tree being up there is miraculous special food for, you know, woodpeckers and things like that. When it can rot up there in the safety where they can be eating it and not have to wait for it to fall on the ground. But I do see these big, like 1 foot tall woodpeckers run around here. I don't see any fallen trees here, which is scary and beautiful. But anyway, when the fallen tree falls and we make a trail, a path going around the tree and sort of honor the head of the tree and then watch in the years coming, that's where the new trees all grow, because the deer don't want to run through those. They don't want to twist their ankle on a fallen tree. Of course, I'm pointing to the energy ball of a fallen tree that's going to fall there one day, and this trail is going to just honor it by going around it. And anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Love you guys. Throw love bombs. Adore yourself. It all starts and really ends there. All right. Love you guys.